please welcome to the stage your moderator, Beck.
What's going on, guys? All right, we got one more panel for the weekend, and I'm excited for this one, too. We do know that the panel schedule changed just a little bit, but the two guests that I have, I'm still just as excited to bring out. Arrow fans out here, right? Black Canary, Wild Dog. We got two badass characters coming out. First, you know him as Wild Dog. Please welcome Rick Gonzales. And of course, you know her as Black Siren. Welcome to the stage, Miss Juliana Harkavy.
Yeah. What's up, guys?
Hey, y'all.
How you doing? Love you too.
Love you guys. Hey, Ale.
So, I mean, it is the end of the weekend, but Juliana, we were just talking backstage. This is your second Heroes and Villains. Rick, I know you've done a couple already at this point, too. I actually got to moderate your panel at the last one in New Jersey, which was with Josh and Echo, which was an absolute blast. What has the experience been for you guys so far this weekend in Atlanta, especially for you, Juliana, since you're still relatively new to coming to these events?
These events have really been eye-opening for me because it sort of gives me a different perspective on my work. You do your job every day, and it's wonderful, but it's work. It's day in and day out. You put your head down and grind, and people are watching. But it's not until you come here and see all you guys and feel this kind of love that you go back to work and realize, wow, like this is really important and it means something. And then I have you guys in my heart, and so it like elevates the work for me. So I love being here, and I'm so grateful to be here.
Yeah, I have to piggyback that because especially like being here in Atlanta, like yesterday I ran into someone and they just kind of gave me what they were going through in the moment. And I think it was an organic moment between two people where they were just telling me how they felt. And it was just a real connection. And that's what I love about these conventions, and especially Heroes and Villains, is like I get to meet you guys and connect with you and to see you and to see what the work means to you and how much you care about Arrow and the show and Wild Dog and Black Canary and so that means a lot, you know what I mean? So that's what these conventions mean, and so I look forward to it.
I think I have to correct myself, too. Did I say Black Siren when I announced? I'm so sorry about that. It's been a long weekend. I apologize for that.
It's all good.
But, in regards to all these, there's definitely a lot of cosplayers out there. I've definitely seen some Wild Dogs. I've seen some Canaries.
Oh, yeah.
What's it like to you guys when you see, especially when it's kids that are doing it, what's it like when you get to see these kids emulating the characters that you play on television?
That was what I was looking for when I did my very first convention. I was like, I'm going to see so many Wild Dog cosplays, and I saw none. And I was like, all right, maybe the next one. And I saw one guy, and I jumped for joy at him. I mean, he was just like, calm down, Rick. And I'm like, no, you're him. You're dressed like him. Yes, I love it. And I loved seeing that. I just love seeing, like, to me, that's the ultimate, flattery. It's just the ultimate compliment to give someone. When you want to go out there and just wear the costume. And I saw some fantastic costumes put together. So I love it when they do that, man. It's so great.
Juliana, how about you? When you see that, how does that make you feel?
It's just surreal. It's amazing. And, I saw, even before I was the Canary on the show, I saw people dressed as a Canary because the character has been around for such a long time. But what's really cool was, like, this Halloween, people were dressing as Dinah and dressing as cops in leather jackets and stuff. And it's just, it's unbelievable to think that anybody would, like, get so much from a character that you're playing that they would want to be that person when they have the option to be somebody else. And it makes you want to keep doing it.
Yeah. There was someone on my line who had some of the costume for you, and they were like, "Yeah, I'm putting this together to be Black Canary." Yeah. And I mean, it's just so cool when they do that. It's just great.
any moments from this weekend in particular that kind of stand out to the both of you, whether it be a fan interaction or a panel that you're on, which would be this one. I was going for a cheaper and it didn't work.
I did
Again, it's been a long.
I did a video for someone who couldn't make the con. A friend of theirs got really sick the night before, and so I did a video for them. And so I'm sending my prayers out to that person in the hospital and for their friend, and just sending my love and thoughts and prayer, because I know they would want to be here for that. And it's just those moments where just a simple little video that I could give them is going to help and uplift their spirits. So those interactions mean everything to me, because I just want to be able to give off that energy and to give somebody a reason to smile. Yeah.
I'd have to agree. The opportunity, when you guys share that you're going through things, just to be able to talk to you about it, first of all, that you trust us with what you're going through means a lot. And just, I had a couple of young ladies walk up and say how much it's helped them to have a strong character on the show, a strong female character like that on the show, how it makes them feel stronger, and just that, there's something called She Authority. I don't know if you guys have heard. Have you guys heard of the She Authority movie? Okay. So the DC girls from across all the DC shows got together, and we made this what's the word I'm looking for? It's a group called She Authority. It's for women. It's women coming together and standing up for each other and helping each other. So many girls have come up to me this weekend and said how much it's helped them, and that's been one of the highlights for me.
I need a shirt.
Oh yeah, we'll get you one.
Yeah.
Sure, we'll get you one.
I mean, I'm a guy, but
It's
I'm down
for everyone.
She Authority.
Oh yeah.
All right, let's go out to the audience and get some of the questions. Let's. Do we have one? Yep, right here up front.
Hi guys.
Hey.
You are the bomb. I'm
Ha.
going to tell you.
Thank you.
You're so bad on that show, but I hear that you're the sweetest thing that was born on the earth.
True.
And I just want to thank y'all for your work.
Thank you.
And Juliana, you make the best canary ever.
Thank you.
Ever.
Absolutely.
I think you're the best one so far, and I hope you stay around a long time. And I just want to thank you guys because Stephen and David and John were so gracious to me yesterday
Yeah.
because I had my own story.
Mm-hmm.
And I almost wasn't here. And I didn't get to come last year.
Mm.
And I have just really come to respect this show because I see the integrity coming through the characters. And y'all are just really special. And you just need to know, you don't understand, I know you come into our homes, but you really affect people. And you affect change. And the biggest thing that y'all did for me was to encourage me to lose 90 pounds.
Amen.
Because I had a cardiac episode, and I kind of had to do something about that. And I wanted to share that. You were talking about people sharing their stories. And me being a senior and coming to this thing, I didn't know what to think or what to expect. And I've just had the best time. I'm exhausted, but I've had the best time. And I just wanted to thank y'all. I'm so glad y'all were on the show.
Thank you, and for being courageous and saying that, and we appreciate that.
Keep fighting. So
Hey, and that's what you're doing, and we thank you for that.
thank you.
And you look
Yeah.
beautiful. Congratulations.
Yes.
And the inspiration coming, because y'all got me through some dark times last year.
I'm so glad.
So I just wanted to thank you for that.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, we'll head over to this side now. Over this side.
Hi, my name is Lexi, and I have a question for you, Juliana. What is your favorite part about being Black Canary?
I love being able to be strong unapologetically all the time. I feel like it's the first time, especially and I know I keep bringing up, women and strong women, and the reason I keep repeating that is because it feels to me so rare after having spent so much time in this industry to just be able to be yourself, not, have to hide behind anything, not be ashamed of anything. And I feel like Dinah embodies that, and it's so empowering, and I love being able to live in that space every day and share that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, over to this side.
Who's your favorite cast member, and what's the funniest thing you've done together?
Favorite cast member. That's like quickest way to get beat up
Yeah. Oh no.
on the show. Listen, working with Juliana is always the best.
And I must say, Rick Gonzales is quite a wonderful young actor and friend.
But honestly,
So-
no, working with Juliana is so much fun. Working with Echo Kellum is so much fun. New Team Arrow.
Yeah.
NTA. Working with Paul Blackthorne is a lot of fun. I mean, we have so many great scenes together. You know, and I don't really, I haven't had enough scenes with Emily in terms of like, you know,
Yeah. Totally.
And Steven as well, you know. I mean, it's just a great cast.
It's and we couldn't pick I think I speak for, but we can't pick a favorite cast member, not because we don't, it's not like, we just don't have one. We're all friends and we all get along. It just depends on, more it's like what we're shooting that day and who you're with. And I mean, again, when I'm with Rick and Echo, we improv a lot and have a lot of fun on set, and we're always messing around. So
Yeah.
it's a little bit lighter.
I guess right now it'd be us.
Yeah.
It'd be
Yeah.
Team Arrow.
All right, over to this side.
I already told you this. Sorry, a while dog that you're my favorite on Team Arrow, but this is for both of you. Who are your two favorite people in Team Arrow?
Well, Arrow for sure. You know, he's the head of the ship, and he's our captain. And Felicity.
I like that.
I think that those are sort of like the two heads of the ship, and I think that they steer the direction of where we go a lot. So I'll go with them.
I like Quentin Lance. I think he's my favorite. Yeah, I have to go with Quentin.
The chemistry that you and Paul have on screen, at least, are some of my favorite moments throughout the show when you and Quentin
I think we
interact.
both were surprised. Paul and I were surprised at how the development of the scenes, just not in terms of the writing, but just organically, like between us, how they just kind of evolved. Like, we just took one scene of me trying to help him in an interview, and that just kind of blossomed into more, you know, scenes of us together. And I think we were both shocked at that, you know, which was great. And we love working with each other, so it's great.
All right, thanks for your question. We'll come over to the side.
What's your favorite scene you shot, like in the show?
Favorite scene? I'd have to say, I'd say, I can't remember which episode it was from season 5, but we were rescuing hostages somewhere, and Wild Dog goes straight through a glass window pane, has the T-sphere in hand as he rolls on the floor, throws it, knocks out a couple bad guys, and then comes the Black Canary, takes out 2 guys beside him. I'm like, this is incredible. I don't know how I'm on this show. This is amazing. You know, so it's just those moments. You know, I think that scene alone just kind of personifies it for me.
Thank you.
Yeah.
How about you, Juliana? What were some of your favorite scenes to shoot?
I think it's also like always the action scenes.
Yeah.
They're just so fun and they're choreographed. So it's like you're watching these incredible, you know, stunt people just kill it, and then you kind of come in and look like you're the one killing it the whole time. I mean, just kidding. We actually are. No, I think all the action sequences are just really exciting to shoot, and I don't know if I can pick one because again, it's like each one has its own life, and they're each so different in their own way. But yeah, the action stuff. Mm-hmm.
All right, great. Over to this side.
Hi, my name's Cami. So my question kind of has to do with the title of this panel. So we're calling it like New Team Arrow, and when you guys all joined, and you know also Ragman and a few others, we kind of all referred to this as the new Team Arrow, but at what point did you feel like you're not new anymore? Like, was there a moment or a scene, or you started to develop a different dynamic with old Team Arrow where you felt like you were a part of things now?
That's a good,
That's a really long question. I'm sorry.
no.
It's a great question.
No, it's a good question. I think when I think about us together, like Black Canary, Wild Dog, Mr. Terrific, it does still feel new, because, and I mean that in a way of like, I'm settled in now. Renee is now in City Hall helping the mayor and being administrative and being helpful in that way. But at the same time, Rick Gonzales is still excited and still walking through a new avenue, being connected to, Juliana as Dinah Drake and working with Echo Kellum as Mr. Terrific and walking through that still feels new, still feels, like there's new avenues I still haven't explored as an actor playing this character and in this world, and I'm still growing and learning from that, So to me, I don't think I've really settled in just yet,
Yeah, that's a really interesting, because it's true, like as personally, it all is still so exciting. It's like you still, when it's like the first day of school and you're like, yeah, to get up every day and do it. I mean, for Dinah, I think when she put on the costume and became Black Canary for the first time, that was symbolic of her accepting the team. And at that point, I think she did settle in after Leon Yu. But I agree. I still do have that energy of a very new, fresh energy, and I don't know if I really want that to go away. I think it's kind of nice to have that that flowing dynamic, with everybody, old and new.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you for your question. Over this side.
Ben, I want to start off with if you
Sorry. Can I interrupt for 1 second?
Sure, absolutely.
I'm so sorry.
Oh.
I'm so sorry.
Really?
What's up, big dog?
What's up, man?
Tell you what, just quickly, sorry to interrupt your question. Doing 1 season is tough. Doing 6 seasons is very tough. But getting to 10 seasons, you need to get lucky every once in a while. And Arrow got lucky with both Rick and Juliana.
Oh, thank you.
We are very lucky to have them. And I'm very blessed that they are part of the show. I love you guys.
Very much.
Enjoy the rest of your panel. Atlanta, I'm out. Bye, guys.
Hey.
Woo! Stephen Amell.
Stephen Amell. Captain.
Well, I'm going to strike that first comment. You move, Juliana, you move with a lot of grace on the set. I'm guessing you have a background. I'm wondering, is it dancing or martial arts before Arrow, and what style?
So I actually never did martial arts. First of all, thank you. That's very nice. I never did martial arts before Arrow. I dance like the way that kids are put into ballet and stuff, but then I wasn't really good or anything. I love to dance. I wasn't really trained, but I was always an athlete, and I always did sports, and I don't know. I don't know. That's a really nice compliment.
Oh.
Yeah.
She works really hard. Like, this is one of the most hardest working actresses I've met. They gave her the bow staff, and she just devoured the technique and the knowledge of it all. Like, just comes to work and just like, hey, look what I'm working on, and just like whirling this thing all over the place.
So no background, just preternatural muscle memory is what we're going for.
Oh, yes, I like that. Yeah, I think that's what it is, what you said.
Fantastic, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, on to this side.
Hi, my name's Ashton. I guess my question is, with the seasons that we've gone through and how the fan base has grown, were you guys at all intimidated coming onto the show?
No, I don't think so. I mean, I think it was more excitement to just know that I was coming onto a show that was established and strong in its format. What I love about the show is that it had an identity that it was very honest to, and just in terms of like the level of tone that this show carried, it never lost its energy for that, you know. And I think this show knew who it was, and so I knew walking into it what I was getting into. I knew what was expected, and then meeting the cast, seeing the level of professionalism and how hard everyone works, which was great to just walk right into and just become a part of that family. So for me, it was just no pressure at all. Just come in and get it done at this level, you know. And to me, that's perfect.
I was terrified. Honestly. Rick's been at this a lot longer than me. No, I was terrified. It was so much bigger than anything I've ever done. It still is. And I think I was sick to my stomach just from my nerves for the first week. And then just got through it. And every day it was like, okay, it felt like more comfortable. And, you know, nobody gave me reason to be intimidated. It was just the scale of it. But I don't know. I think that's also a sign that, you know, you care. Sometimes you can beat yourself up when you're like, oh, I'm so nervous, I can't do this, I'm not good enough, and you get in your head. But it just means that you care, you know. So I just try to be gentle with myself and say, hey, this is a big position, you know, that you've been given, a big responsibility, and so now it's nice to sort of relax, feel relaxed and comfortable. But at first, it was terrifying.
That first week that we worked with Juliana, she learned a fight choreography in 5 minutes, beat up 4 or 5 guys, and then I think the line was, "If you guys follow me back to Star City, I'll have your nuts in a sling." And I think that's when Steven and I looked at each other and was like, "Oh, she's gonna be around a long time on this show. She's gonna slide right in perfectly." Because we didn't see any, you know, uncomfortability at all. She was just knocked it out the park. Yeah.
That's so awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Over here.
Hi, my name's Ahmad. I have a question for both of you. What's your guys' favorite season and why? Not season, I mean episode.
Episode. I mean, that's easy for me. Episode 13 last season, Spectre of the Gun, where we get to see Wild Dog's past, you know, and we get to meet his wife and his daughter. Nothing better than that. That was just great. But I also, just honorable mention, episode 17. Such a great episode with Steven and Josh.
Oh, yeah.
That was so good.
That was good.
Yeah.
Favorite episode? I really did like the premiere this season. I really did. I thought it was such a badass episode. And James Bamford is he's so talented, and I always love it when he does fight choreography. And yeah, that was up there for me. I have a couple, but I'll say the season premiere this year.
That's a good one. I like that. Yeah.
Does you mentioned James Bamford, and I know he started off with the show earlier on in the earlier seasons as the stunt coordinator, and since then he's become a director of episodes and everything. He's really moved up. Does he still do a lot of the stunt coordinating for the show?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think he so he has still a lot of input now with the stunt choreographers that he's also now put in place for the show, and so his hands are still very much touching the pulse of the show, you know, and how aggressive it is, and, you know, and even upping the ante. And I mean, this year I feel like we've shattered things, you know, just even with the Deathstroke episode, incredible, sword through the guy's chest. Yes.
Just for that fight sequence alone, that might be one of my favorite episodes.
That was incredible.
All of us came to work the next day and we were like, where's ours?
Yeah.
I need to do that.
I need Wild Dog needs that love.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I think out of, you know, obviously we're fans of all the Arrowverse shows with Flash and Supergirl, Legends, and Arrow. But I think, hands down, and if anybody disagrees with me, please tell me, Arrow, hands down, has the best action sequences out of any of the 4 shows.
Woohoo! Sick.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm glad to hear that James is still a part
Oh
of
yeah,
that.
James is hands-on. He's still there, still has his hands on the pulse of every kick, punch, flip, everything. He's still there, and I think we're very much indebted to his, the abilities and his insight in terms of the action for the show, and the irony of it is that the very first kill on the show of Arrow is him. He plays one of the guys that Oliver snaps his neck in the very first episode of Arrow.
I didn't even
He's the
know
very
that one.
first kill. Yeah, that's James Bamford. Wow, that's crazy.
Well, I mean, you got to trust somebody to do the stunt. You might as well do it yourself.
Might as well give it to him.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Might as well do it yourself.
You can die first.
Exactly. All right, we'll go over to. Oh, here we go.
Hey, there he is. New Team Arrow.
I just want to say hi to these guys. Love these two. So happy they're a part of the show. Y'all take good care of them, okay? Please.
Yeah.
Getting all kind of special guest stars on this.
No,
We're really popular.
All right, we'll go over to this side now.
Okay, my name is Gabriana, and I want to ask you, who's your favorite supervillain?
Interesting. Okay. Favorite supervillain.
The Joker.
I was just gonna say.
No, you weren't.
I was gonna say the Joker.
We always say the same one, no matter what it is. Like,
That's
so funny.
The Joker. Yes.
100%.
You're right. I thought about it. I'm like, yep, this is the Joker.
So cool to have the Joker on our show.
That would be awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We've already gotten mention of Bruce Wayne, so
Yeah, right?
anything is possible. Over to this side.
So my name's Jason. Friends call me Ree. That's my last name.
Hey.
But this is for Senor Gonzales.
Hey.
I've loved you since old school.
Hey.
Had me hooked. Coach Carter, 1,000 suicides, 2,500 push-ups.
I did do them.
So my question to you, though, after working with Samuel L. Jackson, Will Ferrell, but now working with Steve Amell, Dave Ramsey, and whatnot, Juliana, how was the transition between movies and TV? And which do you prefer more?
I don't prefer either. There isn't really a transition. I kind of approach the characters. I approach each character as I would any. There's really no transition. I'm looking at it strictly from just character perspective and just diving into the work.
Is the production the same?
Well, I mean, in terms of a film, you have production that may go for 3 months, whereas the TV show, we shoot Arrow from anywhere from July to the end of April, so that's 10 months, not roughly 10 months. And so that's more of a grueling schedule. But with film, it's not as grueling, so you kind of get a beginning, middle, and end, and it's much quicker. I guess the difference is with a TV show, you don't know how your character is going to develop. With a film, you know the beginning, middle, and end, right? You read the script, you understand how this movie's going to end, so you shoot that. But with a TV show, things develop, so you're always kind of reading the scripts and then saying, okay, this is where Renee is going this week, So as an actor, approaching it from that level it's different, because I'm reading the scripts and I'm learning about Renee and what's going to happen to him, during the season. And with film, I hold film dear in my heart because as a kid, I fell in love watching movies. My mom used to take me to the theaters and show me horror films. She would cover my eyes on the sex scenes, but let me see the blood and gore on everything else. Good job, Mom. So here I am as an actor now. Thank you, Mom. And, so I hold film dear in my heart, but I love TV and film the same. I don't see them any different. I just approach the characters and who they are and just try to give the best I can,
Is there a difference between working with the actors in film versus working with the actors in TV, though? Because you're working long term.
Yeah, the actors on TV treat me badly, and the ones in film don't. No, kidding. No, I mean, I think that the real difference is I create more of a connection, obviously, on TV. When I'm on a TV show, I get to make great friends, with people, and really connect with them, and I have more time to. In the work, have more time to just dive in and make that connection and make that connection real, when it comes to a TV show, because we have so much time, especially on this show, because we have 23 episodes. So there's just so much more time to just dive in and connect with other actors and have that, and bring it onto the screen. So, yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, man.
Thanks a lot. We'll go over to the side.
Hi, my name is Austin. My question is more for Juliana. You're my favorite Black Canary. I think you felt more natural in the role, being part of the police force, and that your ability was more like meta. But what was it like taking on a role that someone else had already kind of played before?
Thank you. And it was very important to not get caught up in the fact that it had been done before, because I felt like if I spent too much time worrying about the way it was done or doing it better or doing it differently, it wouldn't be as powerful as it needed to be. So I tried to just honor the fact that there were different versions of the canary and other canaries that came first, and then just do my own thing and forget about it, because it's so easy to get caught up in comparison. You know the saying, comparison is the thief of joy. So I really tried to not do that and just make Dinah her own character, her own person.
All right, over to this side.
Hi, my name is Aaron. My question's for Juliana as well. I'm trying to think of how to phrase this. I guess a lot of the viewers of the show kind of for a while thought that the new Black Canary, that the character maybe didn't get enough personal attention, but then that seemed to change a little bit when we got the vigilante reveal and everything surrounding that. So my question is that kind of just going to be like a 1 or 2 episode thing, or is that going to encompass a lot more of what's going on as we get towards the end of the season?
I think the vigilante storyline is going to tie into other storylines, and it's going to affect the way that different things occur on the show this season. So, I love that Dinah has an opportunity to you do have an opportunity to see more of her backstory. I think it's tough when you have, like we're saying, new members come into something that's existed for such a long time already, a way to organically fit it in. So the vigilante, it's gonna stick around, and he's gonna stick around for a bit, but things are gonna change as well.
All right, thank you.
Did that answer your question? I think I blacked out. Okay, thank you.
Right over here.
Hi.
Hi. First of all, I'm really proud of the diversity across all of the Arrowverse. What does it mean to the two of you to not only be superheroes on television, but to be Hispanic role models on television?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's awesome too, to see people of color, heavily involved in the Arrowverse. Yeah, and I think, I think the truth is identity is such an important thing now, especially now in the times that we live in. That to be able to identify with people that you look like, or that you can identify culturally, or that you can identify just by the way you speak or where you live, is so important. And I think for me, like growing up, I didn't really see anyone that looked like me on TV, for the most part. But then as I got older, I saw people like John Leguizamo and folks like that who kind of resembled me and looked like me and had a talent for acting, and that, made me connect in a way that, helped me to see my identity, you know what I mean? And I always bring it back to seeing someone like Barack Obama and how important, Barack being president, and just how important and how inspiring he can be to so many people just by becoming president of the United States. And and just identity, that again, just seeing that person there physically, visually, you see that. And I understand, I just want to make Renee and just Wild Dog the best he can be, and to be a strong character. And I feel like that on its own will, help, solidify the other side of being someone who's Puerto Rican and Dominican, and who's creating a character that people love and endear, and I think those hold one each other in hand. I mean, because if Barack wasn't a great president, then would it really matter, So I think, the fact that he was such a great president just lends to the idea of that, seeing someone like him is very important. And so I see it the same way.
Yeah, I agree with what you just said, and I feel it's one of my biggest points of pride in our show is the fact that we have over 50% minorities in our cast. Is what I was told. I think that's correct. It's important for the same reasons you just said. I mean, really, I echo everything you just said. When people see people who look like them, it's important for everybody to feel that way. It's important for little Black and Hispanic and Asian kids to watch our show and say, hey, like I'm like that person too. And the fact that we can do that, it's important, and I feel prideful, and I feel, again, a lot of this makes me feel like a sense of responsibility. It's to our people, to all of our people, all of us, and so, yeah, I love it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll head over to this side.
Hi, I'm Abby, and I actually have 3 questions if I don't forget. The first one is for both of you. Okay, maybe that'll be the third one because I forgot what it was. My first question then is, when you do the canary cry, do you actually scream, or is it like a sound effect of some sort?
That's funny. So it depends on what we're doing. What I usually describe it like, if we're in the middle of an action sequence and I'm like going and I'm rolling and then I have to like stop and cry, sometimes I'll just scream because it just comes out, or because it's just like the most natural flow and it feels weird to almost like cut it off. But then you also have to conserve your voice, which I learned the hard way. So I also will just, mouth it, which is the majority of the time that's what I do. Sometimes there's a wind cannon and you can't hear anything, so it's just sort of, whatever you feel. The other day I thought there was going to be a wind cannon, and there wasn't, so I just made the weirdest, I don't know if you caught it, you were there. I made the weirdest, like, Wah! It was like, literally like sounded like a real canary.
Oh, that was you?
Yeah, that was me. That was me.
Okay, now that makes sense. Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
And then my next question is, I don't know if you're allowed to answer this question or not, but if you are we ever going to see Renee's daughter again on the show?
I hope so. I mean, I've answered that a lot today. And, that was one thing that, coming into this season, I was hopeful for as an actor, was exploring Renee as a dad. I think that's the great juxtaposition with this character, is seeing how, difficult it is to get along with him, but at the same time seeing his heart and how much he loves his daughter and to be a family man. So I'm hoping this season we'll get to see him interact with her again. So I don't know, fingers crossed.
And then I remember my other question is, if you could each write your own episode of Arrow, what would you want to happen in that episode?
All Wild Dog.
I would put in like 10 of those Deathstroke fight scenes. Like, just everyone gets their own.
That's a
just
good
like
idea.
Everyone just like one. And then, yeah, actually I have another idea, but I just realized it's not my idea. It's something they might actually do, so I can't say that. Never mind.
Oh, yeah. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
That's going to be good.
Thank you. I love you.
We love you.
We love you.
All right, I know we got about 5 or 6 minutes left, but we still have some people. So let's do a little bit of maybe like a rapid fire, and we'll see how many of them we can get through before the panel is up. So let's go over to this side, start on this side.
So I was just wondering if sort of any future, like in the future episodes, like moments for your characters that you've enjoyed filming and you're kind of excited for everyone to see it. I mean, whether you've actually filmed or read it in a script,
Yeah, I we finished shooting the mid-season finale not too long ago, and I really can't wait for everyone to see that episode. That's a great episode. Actually, that might end up becoming one of my favorite episodes. So it might just dethrone Spectre of the Gun as one of my favorite episodes. So I'm hoping to see that.
Yeah, actually, same.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, that episode.
It's a great episode.
And yeah, Dinah does have a few things coming up that I'm really excited for you guys to see as well. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, over here.
Okay, so I would first like to say that Black Canary is my favorite female superhero.
That's amazing. Thank you.
I'm really excited that you have a real cry because the other one didn't, and that really upset me. But I want to say that I'm not a very big fan of change, and in the comics and other cartoons, Arrow and Black Canary were a thing. So if you could choose, would you ship Oliver and Felicity or Arrow and Black Canary?
Ooh.
Tread carefully.
In all honesty, Dinah's not ready for that right now. Like, that's just not on the cards, and Oliver and Felicity have it going on. So I'm not going to mess with that at the moment, There's my answer. I'm not going to mess with that or touch it anymore.
All right, over here.
Hey, my name is Malachi. And first I want to say you guys need your own spin-off show called like Two Badasses or something.
We agree.
Hey, I like that. Let's do that.
But my question is actually for Rick. Now that you're back in the CW, one of my other favorite roles of yours is Reaper. Any chance for a reunion movie?
I wish, man. That show is so dear to me. I loved every moment of it. I learned a lot, too, as an actor, just being on that show. We did a reunion show, actually. We did a reunion special for FearNet channel, which I guess that was somewhere back in 2012. And we got the band back together, and we got the producers back together, and we just all sat down and just hashed out, different episodes and all the interesting people that came on our show. And, that was just so much fun to just do that and just kind of go down memory lane really quick and just, I don't know, man. I just think like, there wasn't anything on TV at that time that was doing what we did, and had the same tone. And to this day, I mean, I get people who still discover Reaper to this day, and that's how I know our show was special, So, who knows? Maybe I did hear the showrunners speak about maybe creating something of an offshoot and maybe seeing Ben and Sock and, those guys show up, assisting other, folks who catch souls from hell, so we'll see. Maybe that could happen,
Awesome. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, over here.
Sup, Hoss?
What's up, Hoss?
But mine is more too. For both, this one's for both of you. What was it like working with both Diggle and Oliver? And the next one would be Dinah. That's not your real name.
It's okay. You can call me Dinah.
But what was it like you versus Black Siren? Because that was the original Canary. What was that like, just going head to head with her?
Well, that was actually the first time that I ever met Katie, was the night that we had that fight in 523, which was just so funny because it's like there had been all this buildup, like all this talk about, they're going to feud And then the second we met each other, like, we just gave each other the biggest hug, and it was like the sweetest, warmest, opposite moment of what that fight was. So it actually, and I think it actually made the fight even stronger and better, because once we were like, okay, we're in this together, we're good, like we're on the same team, we really like each other in real life. So it almost is easier to play that like opposite, you can really, because you're safe, you're in a safe space. So I love working with Katie, and I love doing those fight scenes with her, but it was very like built up, like, it was a big moment. And then for your other question, working with both Steven and David is amazing. They're two of the most professional, kind, like talented, and muscular people I've ever worked with.
Yeah, I echo that. I mean, working with just those two guys, it's just great. They're such anchors for the show. They just kind of set the right tone for all of us, and especially for me when I walked onto set. Just right away, just felt the professionalism and just the warmth that they brought, to me, and I'm pretty sure to the rest of the cast. Just it's so good working with them. It's great.
All right, I know our time is up, but we only got 2 more people in line, so let's just try and
Let's
get
do
through
it.
them real quick.
Yeah.
Sure.
And we'll go over to this side.
All right, so we love seeing you guys as action heroes, but jumping back to the shippy question, what ships do you love from the show, or what ships would you like to see for your characters? I know we've seen a little bit teased for both of you. We had the thing with Thea and Wild Dog there for a second, maybe hinted at. Dinah, maybe there's a couple, potential ones. What do you want to see? Or, in an alternate universe where you controlled it, what would you want to see?
I think Wild Dog and Thea is pretty cute myself.
I was trying to ship that. I was trying to ship it.
He likes it too.
Trying to ship it. I was trying to get with the boss's sister. So that's what Renee was trying to do. Yeah.
I think everybody else is already taken.
Yeah.
Okay, go alternate universe where everybody else is not taken.
I'm afraid. Probably Diggle and Oliver.
Diggle and Oliver as a ship together?
Right.
Oh, that's wonderful. I love it. Yes.
Dolliver.
Oliver. All right, we got one more. Or did you have any more that you could think of? Alternate universe? Or was Dolliver your pick?
I like Dolliver.
Dolliver, I like Dolliver too. I think that's good too.
That's great.
All right, final question, right over here.
Hi, my name's Yanni Papanicolaopoulos, and that's my real last name, no joke. So my question is for both of you. So what I want to know is, like, you guys have both had great origin stories, like both of you, Wild Dog with wife and kids, and Dinah with the partner and stuff. So what do you think, like, for the future, since you've had a great, like, origin story and stuff, what do you think for the future, where do you want your characters to go, like, on the show in terms of, like, importance? Like, where do you want it to go from there?
Well, I think for me, and I've said this before, is we've established Renee being a dad and being a family man, and what I would like to see is for him is to continue for that to realize, for us to see him, finally become a dad and take ownership of his daughter and just be a dad and just kind of see that juxtaposition of him being a vigilante but also being a father, and what that would look like. Does he make sandwiches really well before he goes out into the world and shoots those guns? Does he take out the trash, or does he leave dishes in the sink? But then,
for sure,
what is he messy? So those questions I want to see. I want to see a domesticated Wild Dog. Yeah, that's what I want to see.
It's funny that you should say that, because I feel like, to a certain extent, the same. I mean, I don't know if you're joking or not. Are you?
No.
Yeah, because I sort of feel the same way about Dinah. Like you see her being this badass, and that is part of what I want to grow as well. I want my vision for her, like at the end of whatever this journey is with Dinah on this show. I want her to just be a freaking warrior by the end. You know what I mean? Just like grow and get stronger and stronger and better and better. However, I also want to see that, you know, she is a dog person and she likes certain kinds of music and maybe plays an instrument. And, you know, the layers that make people people would just make almost like that hardcore side more hardcore to see the soft side. So I think it would be nice to have that too.
Yeah, for sure.
Thank you guys so much. I love you.
Thank you.
We love you.
Too.
Thank you, all of you guys.
Thank you to your
so
question.
much.
Thank you guys both so
Thank you,
much
guys.
for joining me.
Really
Thank you
How
so
about another
much.
round of applause for Rick
Thank
and
you.
Juliana? If you also haven't met Rick yet, he's going to be hanging out for a little while, still at his table, so you still have an opportunity.
Robot, bot, 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 bass.